I'm Alex, and today we have two of the best hot hatches you can currently buy. And we're at a drag strip, so we're going to have a race. We're also going to do a quick technical walk around of each of these cars. Then we're going to do a sound off to see which of these two has the better exhaust note. We're also going to run individual figures on each car to try and get the best performance numbers that we can before we do the drag, and we're going to finish with a brake comparison because both of these cars have really strong brakes. If you want to skip ahead, the time codes for each of these sections is just here and also in the comments below. And of course, please hit subscribe and also the bell notification so that you know every time we upload a video just like this one. Okay, tech highlights of this car. We'll start with the engine. It's the world's most powerful 3-cylinder turbo. It's only 1.6 litres in capacity, but it makes 200 kilowatts and 370 newton meters, which is insane for such a small little unit. It loves to rev as well. It goes all the way around to 7,200 RPM, and it makes meaningful power all the way up to the red line, which is great when you're trying to squeeze every last tenth out of it when you're performance testing the car. It's made it exclusively to a 6-speed manual, and I love this little gearbox. And weight, it's down to 1,280 kilograms, which is pretty impressive for an all-wheel drive car. And that's helped by aluminium body panels in the bonnet, the doors, and the tailgate, which saves 24 kilos. And even the roof is a carbon fiber blend, which saves 3.5 kilos. So this is about as different from your Nan's Yaris that she uses to go down to the shops as you can get. But the question is, how fast is it? Let's find out. So we've had a few runs in the Yaris to figure out which drive mode and how many revs are going to give us the fastest times. And today on this surface, it's really hot. So we're finding that Sport is delivering the quickest times where we have more torque at the rear axle. And when you let the revs build up to about 5,500 RPM, that's when you should let the clutch out. So let's see what we can do this time. Good amount of slip off the line, but not too much. All right, let's see what we did. That was a 5.2 to 100 kilometers an hour, and the quarter at 166 kilometers an hour. So that run in the Yaris matched its official claim, but this car actually feels faster than it is on paper, and that's because of the way that it's geared. Second gear to third actually happens at 98 or 99 kilometers an hour, which is really annoying because you're robbing yourself of a few tenths as you make that super crucial shift. So if it was geared slightly differently, I reckon this car's capable of a high 4. Right, updated Honda Civic Type R. Honda says that this is a midlife update for the Civic Type R, but honestly, the changes are pretty minor. So you get the same 2-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. Power stays the same at 228 kilowatts and 400 newton meters. The gearbox is the same as well, a lovely 6-speed manual, but they changed the shape of the gear shifter. The previous car had a lovely metal knob, but this one's been changed to, I don't know, a shape that looks like my thumb. I know that pays homage to previous Type Rs, but I don't like it as much. Other mechanical changes, they've improved the braking system, tweaked the suspension a little bit, and also improved the cooling. Very fast car on the move, very difficult car to launch cleanly from the line. It's going to be about managing clutch slip and wheel spin through first and second gear. Let's see how we go. It's a quick car when it gets up and moves. It's that launch that's tricky. It's not as quick off the line as the Yaris, unfortunately. Let's see how we did. A 6.1 to 100, so that's a little bit off the official claim of 5.8, but not too bad in really hot conditions. And a 14.1 quarter. So there's more time in it. It's just about juggling clutch slip and making sure it doesn't bog, then burst into wheel spin. It's quite a frustrating car to launch this one because you always feel like you're leaving time on the table, but I reckon that's about as quick as we're going to go today. Let's take a look at how both of these cars launch. The Yaris is a cinch to get off the line. Its softer suspension compared with the Civic means that it squats hard onto its rear axle. And in sport mode, it delivered an ideal degree of wheel slip to clock its quickest time. Track mode, which has a 50-50 torque split, actually suffered from more wheel spin on this surface and was fractionally slower. The skill of the driver plays a greater role in launching the Honda. In the Yaris, you can simply step off the clutch, but in the front-wheel drive Civic, you need to walk the car off the line to stop it initially bogging down, and then you have to manage the throttle through first gear to reduce wheel spin. Aussie cars are slightly less powerful than those in Europe, so our 0 to 100 claim is 5.8 seconds, not 5.7, but we struggled to match that today. So the Honda is slower in isolation, but the pressure of a drag race can do funny things, so don't rule it out just yet. Time to see which of these cars has the better exhaust note, and we'll start in the Toyota. And this car has a soft limiter at just over 4,000 RPM, but here's a trick. If you turn all of the electronic safety systems off, it lets you go all the way around to redline. So let's see what that sounds like. That's pretty fruity for a 3-cylinder car, and it does actually pump some of the real exhaust noise into the cabin, so it sounds great in here. Actually, probably better for the people in the car than it does outside. Now let's see how the Honda sounds. Now for the exhaust of the Honda, and unfortunately this car has a soft limiter at 3,500 RPM that cannot be turned off. I've called Honda, I've tried everything to get rid of it, but I can't, so this is what it sounds like. Not the best, unfortunately, but it does sound a lot better at higher RPM on the move, so we'll show you a shot of that now. Let us know in the comments which of these two cars you prefer the sound of. Time to actually race these two cars, and we are actually shooting a comparison video between these two on the public road, so make sure you subscribe to our channel for when that video drops. But right now we're going to do 3 runs at the drag strip because these are both manual vehicles and there is an element of human error, especially in the Honda, so we want to remove that human element as much as we can and see which is quickest over the best of 3. Let's give it a go.
And in 3, 2, 1, go.
That was quick and a clear win for the Yaris. So that is round 1 to the Yaris. Oh my God, I had the aircon on.
Oh, there's another 10th.
Easy another 10th. What a dingus. In my defense, it's 35 degrees today. I need aircon. So round 1, pretty decisive victory for the Toyota, but in the defense of the Civic, that thing is notoriously difficult to get off the line. This thing just grips up and goes. It's like a rocket.
And in 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, good launch from the Civic. Oh, but another clear victory for the Toyota. This thing just hawks up. Wow, that is exciting. It feels way more exciting than a 5.2 second 0 to 100 time sounds. So that is another win for the Yaris in round 2. But in defense of the Civic, he got a really good launch there, but you just can't keep up with this thing. All-wheel drive, and it is so easy to launch. Get it up to 5,500 RPM, and you just let the clutch go and make sure you nail your shifts. It is a really, really quick little jigger. I missed the third shift, but I'm so far ahead it doesn't matter. And it's another win for the Yaris. Even with a fluffed shift, this car is so much quicker that you can get away with it.
Oh, if this was a standing mile, I might have gotten you.
Time for the brake test, and we'll start in the Honda to see if it can salvage some redemption from the drag race. It should do okay because the brakes are one of the things that they updated in this facelift. There are new 2-piece floating discs and also new pads, which helps to reduce unsprung weight by 2.3 kilograms. They've also changed the calibration of the brake pedal to reduce the travel and improve response. As for how we're going to run this exercise, I have some cones set up halfway down the drag strip. We're going to get each car up to a GPS recorded 100 k's an hour, and then we're going to do a full emergency stop at the cones to see where we pull up. Okay, that is 100 k's an hour. That's an emergency stop. This is telling us that we pulled up in 38.9 meters. Let's see if the Yaris can beat that. In the Yaris now, and if I was a betting man, I think this is going to win this test as well. It's 100 kilos lighter than the Civic, and the brakes on this are really powerful, more powerful than you get on a Supra actually. The discs are 356 millimeters, 4-piston calipers at the front. Let's give it a crack. That's 100 k's an hour. Oh, it's close. Oh, I reckon that is almost identical. Let's have a look here. So we pulled up in 38.1 meters, which means it's another win for the Toyota. It's been a pretty comprehensive win for this car all up when it comes to the hard data at the drag strip. But let us know, is that enough to convince you to buy one of these cars over the Honda Civic? Let us know in the comments below. We'll be shooting more of these drag race videos, and we'll be taking your suggestions on what cars to pair up. So tell us what you'd like to see go head to head, and don't forget to check out our on-road comparison between the Civic and the Yaris.